everyone. Welcome back to Tefillah Tidbits on Tuesdays. I'm Rabbi Molly, and I'm excited to be here with you as we discuss Psalm 98 today. And happy, as always, to have our artist in residence, Josh Niehaus, with us. Hey, Josh.
Hello.
And very excited to have Rabbi Sydney here with us as well. Hey, Rabbi Sydney.
Hello, everyone.
So Rabbi Sydney is going to teach us a little bit about the text of Psalm 98 before Josh teaches us a new melody. Take it away, Rabbi Sydney.
All right. So Psalm 98 is a celebration of the fourth day of creation. And it's kind of interesting if you read Genesis, light is made on the very first day, but the sun and the moon and the stars are made on the fourth day, which you have to sort of wonder, where was this light from? And the idea is that it could have been the light of God, the light of understanding, the light of love, whatever metaphor you want to use for that light. But on the fourth day, we actually celebrate the sun and the moon and the stars and have a lot of nature imagery that Psalm 98 evokes. What's interesting is there's really no mention of the sun or the moon or the stars in this particular psalm, but instead it uses really interesting words to evoke this idea of light and sight. So one of the things that it refers to is Adonai has made deliverance known, revealed divine justice in the eyes of the nation. Clearly, without the ability to truly see, we could never know that divine justice. It could never be revealed to us. So the connection is somewhat tenuous. But then the song goes on with really beautiful imagery about the other parts of creation. Let the sea roar, the waves resound, let the world and everything alive ring out. Let the rivers clap their hands, let the hills harmonize, hill with hill, as they escort Adonai, who has come to judge the earth. Let God judge this world by justice and the people by their upright deeds. I want you to think for just a moment of one of the most powerful spiritual experiences you've ever had. Just go ahead and close your eyes and try to envision where you were, what it sounded like. I think for many, many of us, you might be envisioning an outdoor scene. The top of a mountain, the side of a lake. There's a reason why all of our psalms, our psalmist wrote about this divine temple, this eternal divine temple, which is creation, which is the outdoors. And many of us feel it. It resonates in our spirit because there's this beautiful concept of creation being able to pray. The hills clapping for God, the rivers, the waters, all of those things giving thanks to God. The psalmist saw that as a way of all of creation giving praise. And we often feel that sort of deep down in our soul when we're out in nature. So Psalm 98 also parallels some of the words that we have in Psalm 148 and 150, which we sing in the morning about giving praise to God with instruments. One of the beautiful words that we see in Psalm 150 is hallelujah, we give thanks to you, God. And before we actually learn our new melody, I just wanted to quickly reference from this beautiful book, Songs Ascending, by our beloved professor, Zichrono Livracha, Rabbi Richard Levy. And he says, let us search the attic of our childhood exuberance and dig these feelings, these ways in which we give thanks out. We could shout once, we could sing at the top of our lungs. That's why God gave us lungs. Not only to breathe in God's breath, but to breathe out God's praise. Hooray, we say. We still can. Hallelujah. A little louder. Hallelujah. Louder still. Hallelujah. So, as we're singing this, think of the ways in which your soul can really sing out and sing praise to God.
Zamru L'Adonai, Zamru L'Adonai Bechinor, Zamru L'Adonai Bechinor V'Kol Zimra. Zamru L'Adonai Bechinor, Bechinor V'Kol Zimra, B'Hatzotzrot V'Kol Shofar, Hareu Lifnei HaMelech Adonai. Yalalai, sing along. Yai lai la lai, yai lai la la lai, yai lai, yai la la lai, yai la la lai, yai la lai lai, yai la la lai, yai la la lai. Yiram hayam umlo tevel ve'yoshveiva ne'arot yimcha uchav yachad harim yeraneinu yai yai da da yai yai da 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 yai da yai da 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 yai yai la 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 yai la 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 yai la 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 yai yai da 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 yai la 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 yai la 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 yai yai da da
Thank you, Josh, for introducing a new melody to us from Psalm 98. That melody comes from Noah Aronson, and he sings and puts a melody to specifically to verses 5 and 6 from the Psalm. So I'd love to just talk a little bit about that melody. What I found really interesting there is that Noah brings a nigun into the middle of a song. So oftentimes we use a nigun, which is that wordless melody. We oftentimes use it at either the beginning of a service or the beginning of a prayer. We just do the melody sort of to ease people in and teach them the melody before we add the words. And I often think about that function of the nigun as like a starting point that's more accessible to people. But here, Noah throws it into the middle of the melody. So I'm curious, Josh, what you think Noah, maybe what was he aiming for when he did that?
Yeah, and that was tough for me because introducing a new song, I want to teach the melody first, but I thought to keep the integrity of what Noah's trying to do here, I just launched right into it as he does. So hopefully people were able to pick it up, but I think it's very intentional that he does that. I remember to bring in an outside source, reading a book that Herbie Hancock wrote about his experience writing music with Miles Davis. And they said they used to sit around and talk conceptually and about the music theory and the chord structure and the harmony and the melody. And then they would get to this point where words just, they couldn't say anything else. And that's when they would begin to play. And that's where the music and the free expression would come from. And I think when we're talking about this psalm in particular, Zamru, about sharing our pure expression, that our liturgy originally started off as someone's pure expression, that I think he introduces the nigun not at the start as a teaching tool, but as a way to say sometimes we have to just go beyond the words and like just let loose. What comes out of your mouth? You can do a melody, wordless prayer. You can do harmony on top of that, and and I think that's sometimes the function of silent prayer as well. It helps us get beyond the words that we're saying. So you're right that it's unique. I don't know of very many times where it just launches into that in the middle as opposed to the beginning. But I want to think, and I know Noah, and I haven't asked him, I should, that that was by Kavanah, that was intentional.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was too. So I love it. And that idea that like, maybe sometimes it is better to start with the words and just put it all out there. And then that gives us something to go beyond instead of it feeling like sort of a baby step towards something. Like we launch in and these verses talk about, like Rabbi Sidney said, they sort of echo Psalm 150 of praying with all our different instruments. And so we start with it all and then we go beyond that to remove the words and just focus on how our voices make those, bring those notes out together. So very cool. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Rabbi Sidney, for teaching us about the psalm. Thank you, Josh, for introducing this really beautiful new melody to us. And we look forward to singing it with you at our Kabbalat Shabbat services. This Friday, we'll be sure to include it in our service. So we'll see you there at 7 o'clock. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.